What's happening now, behind the scenes in Los Angeles, could be the boldest and riskiest move we've seen since Luka first donned that purple and gold. There's a plan being hatched in the dark, and if it works, the rest of the NBA will have an impossible problem to solve. But if it fails, the price could be the future of our rebuilding process. Hey Lakers Nation, this is Samir. I confess I haven't been able to sleep properly processing what just leaked. We know how things work here in LA. Either you're on top of the world or the roof is collapsing. And what I'm going to tell you today isn't just market gossip. It's about how the front office is trying to surround Luka Doncic with the weapons he needs to dominate the league once and for all. Imagine the scene. American summer is approaching, the lights of Crypto.com Arena are dimmed, but the work doesn't stop. Jaxson Hayes, a guy many of us look at with suspicion, made a game-changing decision. He doesn't want to be just another bench player. He went to get a Slovenian passport. Yes, you heard right. Hayes is preparing to spend the entire summer glued to Luka, playing for the Slovenian national team, to build a chemistry that we only see in legendary duos. It's the sweat, the repetition, the understanding in their eyes. He knows that Luka needs an athletic center, someone who can soar to dunk the magical assists that only the Slovenian can find. Hayes is risking his life on this project. But as incredible as that is, the Lakers management knows that to be champions, we might need an even bigger monster in the paint. And this is where the real problem begins. This is where our pulse quickens, because while Hayes tries to prove himself, the name of a young giant has begun to echo through the corridors of our franchise, a name that could cost $200 million. We're talking about Jalen Duren. Look at this scenario. 22 years old, a force of nature who knows no injuries, a center who has played almost every game in recent seasons for the Detroit Pistons. The internal reading here is clear. The Lakers don't just want a supporting cast, they want an all-star who will grow alongside Luka's peak. Imagine Duren receiving passes not only from Luka, but from Austin Reeves, and who knows, maybe even a LeBron James who decides to put on one last show. It would be an unstoppable offense, a dunking and rebounding machine that Los Angeles hasn't seen in a long time. But then comes the reality check that hurts our wallets. Bleacher Report has already delivered its verdict. Duren's price tag will be a $200 million bill for 5 years. It's an investment that locks in our salary cap, requiring absurd financial engineering, perhaps even a complex sign and trade involving players we love. It's a total all-in. If the Lakers pull that trigger, there's no turning back. Either we win the ring now, or we're stuck with a gigantic contract for half a decade. The front office is at a crossroads. On one side, the emotional and organic bet on the Slovenian Jaxson Hayes. On the other, the aggressive search for Anthony Davis's successor in the paint. The franchise's fate hangs in the balance with every call, every scout analysis. We can smell change in the air. The pressure on Rob Pelinka has never been higher. Luka deserves the best, but the best comes at a high price, and that price could be the soul of our financial future. Is this just another obstacle on the road to the 18th championship banner? Or is it the beginning of a gamble that could break the Lakers if it doesn't work out? I really want to know from you guys. Would you pay $200 million to see Jalen Duren alongside Luka? Or do you believe that the chemistry Hayes is looking for in Europe is the secret we already have at home? Comment below, because I'm going to read every single one. And if you live and breathe Lakers like I do, subscribe to the channel. We won't sleep until this team is back on top. Let's get the debate going. Man, as a fan who lives and breathes this team 24 hours a day, and you know I even put my personal life on hold to focus on what matters now, my opinion is a mix of excitement and an absurd fear of Lakerizing things again. Here's what I honestly think, from the bottom of my heart. I think Hayes' move to get a Slovenian passport is one of the smartest things a rotation player has ever done in recent NBA history. He understood the game. To survive alongside Luka, you have to be his shadow. If he can create that telepathic connection in the European summer, he becomes Lively 2.0. For the Lakers, having a productive center on a minimum or low contract is a salary cap dream. Duren is a monster, 22 years old, veteran physique and durability that Anthony Davis, unfortunately, never had. He would be the perfect partner for Luka for the next 10 years. However, $200 million? That gives me chills. We've seen this movie before with Russell Westbrook. When you put all your money into 3 or 4 players, the rest of the bench becomes a desert. If we bring in Duren for that price, our supporting cast will be filled with players who would be in the G League. If I were Rob Pelinka, God help me, I wouldn't pull the trigger on the $200 million now. First, I would see how far the Luka Hayes connection goes. It's a low-cost, high-return test. Second, the Lakers have a mystique, but we can no longer live by giving everything for a star and forget to build a balanced team. I prefer a team with an improved Hayes and 3 more elite players on defense than Duren costing the price of an airport and us being left with no depth whatsoever. Luka needs help, but he needs an army, not just another expensive general. But what about you? Do you think the risk of becoming financially broke is worth Duren's talent, or will Hayes prove us wrong next season?